Now, these series of questions, we're going to use this idea of percent change over time, but we want to get at, we start with this amount, we either add or subtract something from that amount, and we end up with a new value. So we want to go directly from the old value to what the new value is going to be. And so to think about this, what do we always do? We always start with 100%. Old value is like the 100%. If we are going to increase something, we are adding to that 100%. If we're going to decrease something, we're taking our 100% that we started with and we're subtracting the amount of that decrease. How much did we decrease? What did we lose? What are we not getting back? So for example, if we had a 4% increase, what we're going to use for our calculations is 100% plus 4%. We're going to use 104% as our increase. Remember from the beginning, we can take this number, this percent, divide it by 100, and we get a decimal amount, 1.04. 1.04 is really the same thing as 104% per 100. So we'll be able to use both of those. If we lose 4%, so there'll be a few problems like that, we're decreasing by 4%. We take our 100% minus the 4%, and what do we have? We have less than 100%, 96% in this case, divided by 100, and we're going to see a number of 0.096. That's what we're going to use in our calculations. Okay, so all of these problems, we're either increasing over the 100% or we're decreasing below the 100%. And we do this sort of thing to start with, and we'll multiply by this factor that we come up with. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. Question 30. Sales tax rate for the state of Washington was 5.7%. The sticker price of a car in Washington was $4,100. What will be the final cost of the car, including the tax? So we pay the price of the car as 100%. We add the tax on top of it. So the calculation we want to look at first is we start with the 100%. We add 5.7%. So we have 105.7%. Let's turn this to a decimal because that's what we're going to use to calculate with. It becomes the number 1.057. Not percent, but that's just the factor we're going to use. So we take our $4,100 for the price of the car, multiply it by 1.057, and we're going to get the total cost of the car. And notice it's larger than the $4,100. We end up with $4,337.70. Now, the route of this calculation, we didn't find out specifically how much the tax was. If we wanted to, we could subtract 4,337, subtract 4,100 from it to get the tax. But this is a quicker calculation if what we're interested in is the final cost. 31 is going to be a similar type thing, but in this case, we have a store that's having a 35% off sale. We are reducing, or they are reducing their prices by 35%. So what we do is, again, their original prices were 100%. They're going to subtract off 35% for us, very kind of them, and we're only going to have to pay 65% of the price. Again, we'll turn this to a decimal by dividing by 100. 0.65 is the factor we're going to be using. So the original price of a shirt was $18. If we multiply that by 0.065, we will get the cost of the new shirt. And we'll find that it's only going to cost, well, the same shirt, the new cost, the new price. Sorry about that. $11.70. That's the new price of the shirt. Okay. Let's keep going. 32. Okay, Hank currently makes $13 per hour and is going to receive a 7% increase, a raise. Okay, so Again, we start with the 100% that he was making. We add 7% to that, very generous, and we get 107%. His new salary will be 107% of his old salary. Turn that to a decimal, divide by 100, 1.07. That's our factor that we're going to use in our calculation. So with that in mind, we were getting $13 an hour, or Hank was. We'll multiply that by 1.07, and we'll see that Hank is now making $13.91 an hour, 91% raise per hour. So this is the new hourly wage. Okay. 33. A restaurant, the bill comes to $50, and you decide to leave a 15% tip. What's going to be the total cost? What's everything? So again, we've got 100%, we're going to pay the whole bill, what we're supposed to pay. We're going to add on a 15% tip. So what does that do? Is 100 plus 15 is 115%. That's we're paying more than the bill. Turn it to a factor by dividing by 100, 1.15. So we'll take that 1.15 times the original amount, the $50 that we owed, 1.15, and we get that our total bill is now going to be $57.50 if we pay a 15% tax. That will be our total amount paid. Okay, so take 100%, add the percentage on if we're increasing, subtract the percentage off if we're decreasing.